Street Church, when we choose to follow God or make the opposite choice, to not follow Him, that choice will directly affect, I believe, every other choice in our lives. For instance, by the time I started dating my lovely wife, Susan, I'd already received the call from God to become a pastor. I already knew that that was my destination in life. That's where God was calling me. So at the beginning stages of our relationship, she needed to answer a question. Can she marry a pastor? Can she be a pastor's wife? Was that something that God wanted to do in her life? Was that something she wanted to give her life to? Because I'd already chosen and had decided that that's what I heard God telling me and what I believed the direction of my life was going to take. And so that decision to choose God, that shaped every other choice that I had to make in life. And it really, when Susan had to make that choice, she had already decided that she was going to follow God too. And so she had to ask the Lord, is that your will for my life? Is that your plan? And so, it depends a lot on what you want to do with the rest of your life. That choice is before you. It's not something that's forced upon you. It's not something that God comes and grabs you by the neck and says, you will follow me. He treats you like a human being because He created you with the ability to make choices. He created you with the ability not only to make choices, but to also deal with the ramifications of those choices. And so for me, it becomes a question of value. Do I value God enough to follow Him? Do I value God enough to obey Him? Do I value God enough to put all of the other things that I may cherish or value or like or dislike kind of to the side? And it becomes a place of value for me. And I know that that choice is before each and every one of us. And in fact, all throughout the Bible, we're presented with that choice. In one such place, maybe one of the most famous places, is in Joshua chapter 24. Well, Joshua says this in verse 15. He says, "And if it is evil in your eyes to serve the Lord, choose you this day whom you will serve, whether the gods your fathers served in the region beyond the river, or the gods of the Amorites in whose land you now dwell. But as for me and my house, we will serve the Lord." And so Joshua said, hey, here it is. And it really is interesting today how Joshua puts that question, because it really does direct to today. You can choose, you can look into your past and say, I wasn't raised in a religious home, and so we really don't follow God. We kind of do this or we do that. We look at your heritage. Or you may think that because your family does have a heritage of following God, that you've just kind of naturally fallen into that, but you've never really made the choice. You've just kind of kept doing what your family's always doing without making the choice for yourself. But let me talk to you for a moment about that choice, because we're given these three options. The past, your current culture, just kind of do what they're doing, or make a decision for yourself to serve the Lord. Now, the question is kind of wrapped in this other question, maybe even a larger one, that Joshua says at the beginning of the text, if it is evil in your eyes to serve the Lord. What an interesting way to put that. If it's evil in your eyes to serve the Lord. So I started doing a little digging around about that question of what we might deem to be evil and what we might deem to be good. And there's a few theories out there, not just a few, but probably thousands of theories out there about how we humans universally throughout history and in various cultures define good and evil. What I've discovered is that there are basically 6 common ones, that throughout history and all around the world, there seems to be 6 different components that kind of shape the way you and I view evil. And they're real quick, are this: is it caring or harmful? It's a question, right? Is it fair, or is there some sort of cheating going on? Are people being loyal, or is there betrayal? Is there some sort of authority that means that I have to make this, or that should make this, or is this some sort of subversion? Is there anything holy here? Something that I deem to be sacred, or that our collective decides that is sacred? Or is it somehow degrading of humanity to do that? And then the last one, a choice between liberty or oppression. And it seems that if something is caring, and if something is fair, and if there's some loyalty, and there's some authority, and there's some sanctity, and there's some liberty, that we'll deem those things to be good. But on the other side, if it is harmful, if these people are cheating, if it's betrayal and subversion and degrading and oppressive, then we'll put that on the evil side. And so you're going to need to do some work with this question that Joshua puts us, and in fact the whole Bible puts to us. If you find it evil to serve the Lord, then choose who you're going to serve. I have found that it is good. I pray that you do some soul searching and some searching through the scriptures and looking at the commands of God and the things that God would have to you, and make that choice, because that choice will shape all other choices. And there is an initial choice that you're going to have to make regarding God. There's a daily choice that you have to make to stick with that initial choice. But I'm praying for you, and I'm praying that you, like Joshua, would choose life and choose to follow God. If you want to make that choice today, you can contact us at theretreatchurch.com. It'll be our pleasure to serve you and help you get off to your relationship with God on a good foot. God bless you.